The following is the production of WEGL 91.1 FM.
That ball is gone. It's a walk-off home run for Stephen Williams.
WEGL Sports,
The Tigers are headed to the College World Series.
where every
Touchdown Auburn! Jacoby McClain!
game
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow!
lives. And welcome inside the Xtra Point here on WEGL 911 and WEGLFM.com. Hello, everybody. It is your, beautiful, handsome, talented, stunning, award-winning, I love that part, host, Jared Dillard. And joining me from wherever they may be is Davis Carroll, Alex Houston, and Jack Hart. Davis, we'll start with you first. Thursday morning, today, I'm still waking up. Today is Pick'em for NFL and college football. How are you doing this fine morning?
Doing all right. Not much to it. Got my class after this. Really excited.
You should be. Alex, how about you? How you doing this morning?
I'm gonna lie, last night I wasn't doing too hot, but now we're up and I remembered that these next 4 weeks, my team can either get close to the divisional race for first place or be like a top pick in the draft. So what's there to not be excited about?
Or you could do neither.
Yeah, you could finish with that 8-8 lifestyle.
You think we're gonna go 8-8?
No, but Washington version of 8-8 is 5-11. So
We've been down by double digits at halftime for 7 straight games, an NFL record. There's no way we're going 8-8.
well, Jack Hart, Jack, recovered from last night's game, I hope. How are you doing this fine morning?
All right, Jared, working on a little sore throat right now, but I'm going to make some tea. We're going to hope everything's going to be all right.
Now, you say you're making tea, so is it hot tea or cold tea?
It's going to be hot tea. I got my electric kettle. I got some tea bags. I'll see what I can throw together.
All right, just let me know if you need to sprinkle something in there and get you going. All right, on today's show, what, Davis, why are you looking at me like that for?
You'd have to call Alex if you wanted that.
Wait, what happened?
Nothing. So, on today's show, opening up with college football news, going to the NFL, and then MLB before we head over to Pick'em as we start and open up the show. But before we do any of that, let's go ahead and let's start every show like we always do. And that is with the one, the only, the fast break.
Step back. Kiss myself, Neil Funk. Woo!
Wake up. It's the fast break. Your top stories this morning. Your top story this morning, Jack, cover your ears. The Dodgers put up 11 runs in the first, a postseason record, en route to a 15-3 rout of the Braves. Atlanta still leads the series 2-1. Next game is tonight. The Astros and the Rays had a do-or-die situation for the Astros, but unfortunately the bad guys from Texas won. And the Rays, with a 3-1 lead, will have to look to put them away again tonight as well. The White Sox got the okay to talk to former Cardinals manager and working with the White Sox back in the 70s, 80s, Tony La Russa, about the open vacancy for the manager position. Conor McGregor says he's ready to fight on January 23rd versus Dustin Poirier. So make sure that Conor McGregor's back, and with that swaggerish walk that he has, he's going to step back inside the octagon, and who knows these days. Let's just hope he can keep his head on straight. Speaking of keeping your head on straight, guess who's not? Broncos running back Melvin Gordon, who was cited for DUI the other day. Also in NFL news, the Jets released Le'Veon Bell, and the Jets will also start Joe Flacco as Sam Darnold recovers from his shoulder injury. Also some breaking news this morning in the NFL. The Atlanta Falcons are closing down their training facilities as they've had a couple of positive COVID tests pop up in the last couple of days. Cam Newton rejoined the Patriots today as the Pats get ready for their game this weekend. And speaking of COVID, Saturday's game between the Florida Gators and the LSU Tigers is postponed due to COVID-19. And to wrap it all off, some big news in Tuscaloosa, and it's not good, as Nick Saban has also contracted COVID-19, and he will not be with the team this Saturday as they take on number 3 Georgia. And that does it for the Fast Break presented by WEGO Sports, where every game lives. And that's what we'll start the show, is with the Nick Saban situation down in Tuscaloosa and opening up with college football news. So when this news released, one of the first things I thought to myself is, what does this mean when it comes to, am I getting a phone call? I am. I don't know who that's from. You have to know anybody from Lula, Georgia?
No.
Oh, okay, well. It's an actual city, I guess. But, the line for that game before the news report came out was 6 points. It's now dropped to 4 points overnight. I mean, having your head coach not there, one being Nick Saban, I knew it was going to take, it was going to make an impact, but I guess it's just interesting to see kind of how, I guess, that dynamic shifts in Vegas as Alabama gets ready to take on Georgia. Not only that, but Florida LSU, and what's been a wild week for Dan Mullen, is now postponed. That game is now scheduled for December 12th. So I don't know which way you guys want to go first, Saban or Mullen. So I'll just let whoever takes the floor first take it whichever way they want to go.
I think we can go the Saban route first because that's probably a bit more pressing and recent. But I think it's been interesting that Alabama's favored at all because I get that it's Bama and when in doubt don't ever pick Georgia because you just don't, especially in big game against Bama. But now with Nick Saban going to be on Zoom to handle the game, nobody's going to be able to yell at Pete Golding when his defense lets Stetson Bennett throw for 16 touchdown passes. So, I really think that Georgia was going to win already, but now without Saban, I really think that team doesn't stand.
Wait, you think Georgia was going to win that game?
What?
You thought Georgia was going to win that game even before the Saban thing?
Yeah. Jared, make no mistake about it. Alabama's defensive coordinator is quite...
Yes. I had to double check. There's a reason why you're 5th in Pick'em. I just wanted to double check that.
Jared, make no mistake about it. Alabama has the worst defensive coordinator in college football. They may not have the worst talent on defense, but their coordinator...
I'm pretty sure there are 12 other defensive coordinators that I can name that are even worse than Alabama.
Honestly...
Side note, they're all in the Big 12.
Honestly, I don't think you could, really. Because Bama has the talent year in and year out. It's just a clear lack of, competence at the top of the defense. And that's with Pete Golding, who Bama fans have been calling for to be fired since last year. And he's still here. And he just let the Lane train score 48 points. So... You think Stetson Bennett's not going to have a field day with that? Really?
Nah, Alabama will still win. He may play good, but Alabama will still win.
No.
Okay, well, I'll remember that. But we'll get into pick 'em later. That's our extra point game of the week.
Yeah.
Davis, what's kind of the big takeaway from you about Saban's situation with COVID? Bring your mic down.
Sorry, I forgot about that. I was eating a Slim Jim a minute ago.
Hey, nothing wrong with snacking into a Slim Jim, all right?
Slim Jim.
And yes, I did get paid $2 to say that.
I just for a second, I just want to say I don't get how Slim Jims are so addictive. That's
Here we go.
It's nicotine.
We're 17. We're like 5.
I was literally just about to get back into it when you just took it off the rails, Alex. You did. What I was saying was, if Saban has it, then I can bet to wager that other coaches and therefore players probably have it too. We haven't heard about that, so I'm not sure how long this is going to last for Bama before another player gets or another personnel member gets or tests positive, and then I'm not sure if Alabama would shut down or not.
I guess we should also mention that the AD also has it. Who I assume is around the football program a decent bit enough that maybe he may have gotten it from the football program. But yeah, no, you're definitely right. There's going to be probably a reckoning soon of, there's probably going to be a lot more cases popping up than we can imagine, unless Saban got it from, I don't know, his family. And hopefully he didn't transmit it to any of his players or staff or personnel. But
was he always a mask wearer on the sidelines?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Saban's been one of the coaches that actually follows the guidelines pretty well. I haven't seen him, disregard safety protocols. So hopefully, I mean, fingers crossed, he didn't give it to other players, right? That's the big hope.
Yeah, here's hoping, but with him being the head coach, they're around each other so much. I can't expect them, or like you expect them to, but like they probably didn't have their mask on at all times together since they're around each other so much, and they're like, well, we're already around each other, so we'll be okay. But since it is an organization, they might have. Let's hope that they did, but you never know. Because as people that wear masks, we all wear masks, and every once in a while you'll kind of take it off when you need to breathe, not around other people, but you know what I mean.
I mean, yeah. I mean, for example, when you guys go inside the studio, you're not wearing a mask on the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're trusting other people inside that room that they don't have it. But if they did, then it's like, well,
It's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Put me 6 feet under. That's it, right? Jack, Saban, COVID, Georgia, Bama. What happens?
I have a hard. I mean, obviously, this is going to affect the situation. I don't know how drastically it's going to affect the outcome. Unless in the next few hours we learn about a swath of players that get the virus. I really don't see how this is going to have a dramatic effect on the situation. I still think it'll probably be the best game of the weekend just due to the talent on the field. But when you're looking at a situation like this, I would say, I mean, when this happened, I had to think to myself that this is probably maybe the most famous COVID case in sports yet. Well, I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean the precautions have been pretty good. I know Sean Payton had it back in July, but that wasn't during the season. So I was wondering what potentially, and then of course Saban's a very high risk category, several high risk categories actually. So you're looking at a situation where this is kind of as overused as unprecedented gets, even for this unprecedented season. This is something that hasn't happened yet. So we're going to have to see how the appropriate steps are made to deal with it, and whether or not, I don't know. I mean, postponement might even be on the table.
I mean, yeah, when it comes to high profile, I mean, other ones you can think of are like Cam and Ronaldo, but they're not in high risk categories, right? Saban is. That changes the game.
I think, yeah, the fact that it's a coach, and yeah, like I said, I think Sean Payton, maybe another NFL coach, are the only two I can think of. I don't think any college coaches, or at least any major college coaches, have had this situation unfold yet.
Wait, I'm gonna feel kind of bad about this. Does Les Miles still have it? Is that a thing?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
We just forgot about poor old Les over there at Kansas.
I mean, can you blame us?
Oh, poor Les Miles. Don't forget that he was in a movie.
What do you mean, poor Les Miles? Poor University of Kansas.
Look, they're trying their best over there, okay?
Wait, he's in a movie?
Yeah, you don't remember he's in a movie? Google it.
Nick Saban's in a movie.
Well, yes.
Nick Saban's also on Affleck commercials.
Yes, like Nick Saban's a star in my mind. I don't want to get into any more college football news because a lot of it revolves around games.
He's in 2 movies, Les Miles.
Which 2 of those movies are they?
The Last Whistle and The Challenger Disaster.
I remember the Challenger one because that was the most recent one.
So he's actually an actor, or he's just like, hey, I'm Les Miles?
No, I think he's like a prominent character in the Challenger Disaster. Yeah.
Yeah, in Challenger Disaster, he's on the top 4 billed cast.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's on the. Is he on the cover of it? I think he is.
He is.
Actually, he's in a lot more movies than that. But
Those are two big ones, though.
Moldy.
No
I
wonder
think we
Kansas is
come
terrible.
on, know your Les Miles trivia. Come on, guys.
6.2 out of 10. Yeah, that's
So,
yeah.
we talked about Florida being getting into the game because I want to mock Florida.
Oh yeah, let's go over to Florida now. Okay, so Dan Mullen has had a rough week. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, did he kind of bring it on himself? Sure, but we went from Florida, the top 3 team, to Florida loses to Texas A&M, to 1/12 of the man being there at the stadium, to Dan Mullen saying we got to pack the swamp, to Dan Mullen saying that yeah, pack the swamp again, to Florida having COVID cases, and now Florida LSU are not playing anymore, and now he has the egg on his face.
I mean, it's funny because I feel like, before this week happens, Dan Mullins, he's a middle of the pack coach in terms of how the fans of the SEC feel about him. Like some fans hate some coaches. Like I feel like Kirby Smart would be on the, more hated side of it, if anything, right? And like Mike Leach is probably a more universally loved, and like Ed Orgeron and stuff like that. And Dan Mullen just in the middle. Nobody really has an opinion about Dan Mullen. He's like, all right, Florida's good for him. But I think throughout this week, Dan Mullen has gotten closer to the Kirby Smart level of hatred from the fans rather than, the other way. Because, I mean, it's just like, it's not like there was a split decision on on the opening of the stadiums. Like, nobody agreed with him, really. There's very little support for that statement. Then he doubles down on it. And then, the whole thing blows right up in his face. And, of course, let's not forget the fact that he's like, Texas A&M having 20,000 fans really affected the game. Like, really?
Yeah, it's like, it's not like he called for 20%, right? He called for the full stadium. The full stadium. Ain't nobody called for that.
Half. He could have said 50%. I'd be like, you know what? Why not? Give it a shot. Because, I mean, he could have. Because, Auburn in most places are doing 20%. I don't think their numbers are exploding yet. So there's merit to that. But to pack the stadium as your team is dealing with it is just – it's just stupid. Not to mention the fact that, like, if that affects his team's chance of winning a game, what is he going to say when he goes to Bryant Denny or Sanford or Jordan Hare for that matter?
Probably the same thing. Yes, you in the back.
So with Alex saying that Auburn doesn't seem to have it, and I just want to talk about all schools, are we sure that the students are actually reporting themselves? Because I feel like at these games there's probably more exposure than we'd like to admit.
Wait, when you say students, do you mean the student athletes or the students themselves?
Students themselves. Because I know I've heard Auburn students that don't want to report themselves because then they don't want to get sent home. You think that's an actual issue, or think that's just like I heard one or two people and then just kind of applied it to everybody?
You may be right on that one, Davis.
This is gonna be one of those situations where you're not gonna know the full impact of it until years away from now, when they start doing studies and stuff like that, right? And it's kind of like the outbreak in 1918 that happened, the pandemic in 1918. They didn't really know how bad that was until years later, about how many people died. And if you go in and kind of read about that, there's this big gap between, it's either this many or this many. And you're like, how is that gap that big? It's because, I mean, kind of the same thing happened then. People didn't really report it, or people didn't really have the proper medical care. And, I mean, I'm going to err on the side of safety and say that, there probably are a couple of cases that people either are not reporting. It's not because they're malicious about it, but maybe that they're scared. They don't have any, access to medical procedures. They value work. They can't miss work, or they're not gonna be able to pay for bills, things like that. I mean, there's a whole swath of situations where people wouldn't report, but it does happen. We've seen it happen all throughout the news, and I know the news, like, you always see the bad in things, right? But we're seeing it. Like, it is happening. For college students, we don't know how bad, but yeah.
Good answer, Jared.
Good answer. Good answer. It's on the board, but good answer.
Because I feel like at Florida, if they have as many people as they did, there's probably going to be more than they said. Because some of them are going to be asymptomatic, of course, and then probably going to go from there.
I mean, if I'm looking at the map of like new cases, I know that personally, and I don't want to get too far into this, right? Because that's whatever. Personally, the United States has gone over that 50,000 cases per day threshold for the last week. We've been down below that, which has been really good, but then we've recently broken that, and it's mostly because the flu season started again, right? So now it's the flu season on top of COVID season, which is like a double whammy of oh no's. So, stay protected. Keep wearing your mask because it's going to be a little bit different in the fall when it starts getting colder and people are indoors. I know that, for example, the Saints are not allowed to have people inside the Superdome, right? But LSU is allowed to have fans inside their stadium, mostly because Superdome is a dome, Tiger Stadium is outside. And the Saints have talked about maybe we go play outside if we really want fans. And I know that's been discussed. I don't know if they're actually going to do that, but I know that that is a thing that's happening, right? As it gets colder, people move inside. As it gets colder, the flu starts going around. We know how contagious the flu is. Mix the flu
Get
season
your flu shots.
with COVID season. Get your flu shots, right?
Your flu.
I'm just saying, just be careful out there, because it's probably going to get a little bit worse before it gets better, just from a realist standpoint. All right, enough about COVID, okay? I'm tired of 2020. Let's move on to the NFL. A lot of things happen in the NFL. First of all, this is your update. Adam Gase is still not fired yet. I don't know how, but the man still has a job.
They're tanking for the high pick, so they're keeping him as coach until the offseason, where they're also going to fire Greg Williams.
Le'Veon Bell is free. He's a free man. He got banked. He played 18 games, got $28 million. So good for him. Melvin Gordon cited for a DUI. Joe Flacco starting at quarterback for the Jets. The Falcons shut down the practice facility. They might as well just shut down for the whole year at this point, the way things are going for them. NFL's kind of just tumbling. It's kind of just tumbling in certain areas. So let's start with the Le'Veon Bell saga. Well, Adam Gase was asked after Bell's release if he had misused Le'Veon. And he said pretty much that doesn't really matter anymore because he's gone.
That's fair. It's a decent answer, but it's an Adam Gase answer.
It's an Adam Gase answer. I don't like it. This dude, how did they find somebody so incompetent at a job? Like, it's crazy.
He was never in the. I mean, like, he was only really in the head coach spotlight, like one other time, and that was for a short period of time where he had a better team. So, I'm not blaming on the team. I'm still blaming on him because he sucks. But that team with the Dolphins probably could have gotten farther than they did if he was a good coach.
I mean, the same thing that's happened in Miami is happening in New York, right? He had Miami. He had all these good players, right? And then they all left. Ryan Tannehill's tearing it up in Tennessee.
Well,
now,
you remember J.J. had like those 3 200-yard games, and then he like talked back to him. So Adam Gase's like, "I'm trading you." He just traded him.
Yeah,
isn't that what he did?
Pretty much. And then you go over to New York. Yes, Sam Darnold, which I mean, he was a young prospect, could have flourished. Le'Veon Bell.
I think he still can. I think he still can. That's all I'm gonna say.
Le'Veon Bell, running back, 3-time Pro Bowler, gone. Jamal Adams, gone. It's like if you want your franchise to get reset, like in Madden, you just bring in Adam Gase. He'll get rid of literally everybody and give you the number 1 pick and put you in a bad situation.
It's crazy to me.
I can do that. Why don't they pay me to do that?
Because, like, you're looking at the Jets, and Adam Gase is an incompetent head coach. But despite that, they went 7-9 last year. Like, if you got that would keep this roster together, you would very likely have made the playoffs. but instead you're stuck with this. Coach in professional sports as it stands currently.
I thought you were about to say history.
No. Because the Jets have had worse coaches.
Eric Mangini?
Unbelievably, as that is to say.
I've mentioned Eric Mangini twice this week, and I think that's a new record.
Eric Mangini wasn't even that bad of a coach by comparison.
What?
Freddie Kitchens? Hugh Jackson?
I mean, if we're talking about bad coaches overall, I mean, golly.
No, I mean, the true measure of a bad coach is not a coach with a bad record, but a coach that takes a team to that. Like,
Jeff Fisher.
Like Hugh Jackson was a bad coach, make no mistake about it, but the Browns had a consistent talent issue for a while there. They did. They lacked a lot of talent on that roster. The Jets had talent. Adam Gase has basically done the throwing everything off at rapid speed and has taken this team from 7-9 to 0-5 with the worst point differential in the NFL at negative 86 points. That's like next level bad to me. Now, I'm sure everybody has a different opinion on that, but that's just how I think of it.
Well, here's something that we can do. Bill Barnwell of ESPN released a new article of 13 different trades, and I'm going to name these out, and I want to know if you would buy or sell these trades. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
All right, here we go. First trade up. The Eagles trade tight end Zach Ertz to the Cardinals. The Cardinals will get Zach Ertz and a 2022 6th-round pick, and the Eagles will get linebacker Hassan Reddick and a 2022 3rd-round pick. So pretty much Kyler Murray getting a tight end weapon. Would you take that? Would you buy or sell that?
They have Dallas Goedert in Philadelphia now that they're already giving more snaps to, so it's obvious that Zach Ertz is kind of losing his spot as a starter. So while you're at it, just go ahead and trade him and get a good linebacker since the Eagles are having decent. Because one of their players is Nathaniel Gary. Let me find his stats real quick. One of my friend, Eagle fan, that's also one of my friends sent him. Nathaniel Gary has 23 catches when defending on 23 targets for 267 yards, which is the third most in the NFL.
Ouch.
He's allowed 4 touchdowns, which is the most in the NFL. And he has a 154.6 passer rating, which is also the most in the NFL. So I feel like a Hassan Reddick addition, or any linebacker for that matter, would be a good addition to that team. Just to get Nathaniel Gary out of the rotation.
I mean, if the Eagles already have a tight end weapon, I don't see why not.
I mean, Dallas Goedert is hurt right now, granted, but still.
Right. Although the Cardinals might not want Zach Ertz, I know that's kind of bold to say, but I don't know. You might want to. The Cardinals are an extremely young team, so you might want to look at someone with a little more youth that they can develop rather than someone that could be experienced and kind of potentially butt heads with the rest of the team. I mean, you got Larry Fitzgerald, your veteran there, that is kind of going to lead the receiving core. So you might have a tight end to develop there rather than try to pull someone in with experience, possible injury concerns, as well as maybe you don't know how long you're going to be able to utilize them.
Here's the next trade. I'm already saying no to this one because I don't like it. Mostly because that involves the Colts.
Oh.
The Jets trade quarterback Sam Darnold to the Colts. The Colts get Sam Darnold, while the Jets get a 2021 2nd-round pick and a 2022 3rd-round pick, which is conditional. I'm saying no.
Jared, that's a good trade.
No.
Jared, 2 years from now, you will need a young quarterback.
I needed a young quarterback now because Jacoby Brissett and Philip Rivers are free agents after this year.
Okay, so then you get
a
quarterback.
I believe in Jacob Eason.
Oh, my God.
I saw Sam Darnold sack himself on primetime football.
He's on the Jets. That's what happened.
Jacob Eason can't be that bad. He just can't be that bad.
Make no mistake about it. It's your right to be stupid, but we're still going to call you out on it.
No, I'm not giving up a 2nd-round pick for Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold's actually decent. I will die on that.
I'm not giving up second round pick for Sam Darnold.
There is not a quarterback in the second or third round that you will find that is better than Sam Darnold.
But I'm going to trust one of the best GMs in football, Frank Ballard, that when he said I'm gonna take Jacob Eason in the fourth round, he knew what he was doing. That's not a throwaway pick.
If he trades for Sam Darnold, do you trust him then?
I would trust him, but I know he's not going to do it.
Jared, worst case scenario is you get
he could have got rid of Jacoby Brissett when he benched him, but he didn't.
Listen,
I'm listening.
Worst case scenario is this. Actually, wait, this may be the best case scenario, really. So you get Darnold, you keep Eason, you let Brissett go, and you re-sign Phillip Rivers this offseason. So now you've got Eason and Darnold.
You said this may be best case scenario, but it doesn't sound like it.
What?
You said this is best case scenario, but it doesn't sound like it.
Well, it might be, really. So you get Darnold and Eason to compete and learn under a veteran quarterback for a year or two, and then whoever's the better one plays.
I'm not giving up a second round pick for Sam Darnold. I'm not. You're not going to convince me to give up a second round pick for Sam Darnold.
How about a third round pick?
If Le'Veon Bell could even get a late round pick, I'm not giving up a second round pick for Sam Darnold.
Those
just
are
can't.
Two very different things.
Third round pick and Jacoby Brissett.
No.
Fourth round pick and Jacoby Brissett.
I mean, Jacoby Brissett's contract is expiring. They'll probably let him walk and then try to sign him to free agency.
Here's what I'm going to do. All right? So I'm going to read to you some of the names on the NFL draft quarterback class. I'm going to read you ones that we'll get in the second round. Okay? So obviously we know Trevor Lawrence is going to the... Oh, this thing load. Great. Dang it. I was looking forward to this. All right, so we know Trevor Lawrence is going to go in the first round.
Sure.
This website is broke. All right, you're not going to get Justin Fields either.
Sure.
So, you're to that. Trey Lance, I think, will go in the first round late.
Sure.
All right, so then your other options. Other than Sam Darnold, these are the quarterbacks you could get. Are you listening?
I'm listening. I don't like it, but I'm listening.
Jamie Newman.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Trask.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else we got. Kellen Mond.
Don't tell me that.
Why?
Don't tell me that.
Yeah, no, I'm just... Brock Purdy. His stock has dropped a little lately, wouldn't you think? Let's see what else we got. KJ Costello.
Okay, let's stop now. Okay, let's stop.
Okay.
Why do you assume the Colts need to get somebody through the draft?
Jared, if you don't get someone through the draft, what are you going to do? You're going to sign somebody?
You can re-sign Phillip Rivers.
That's what I said.
But that doesn't mean you got to go get Sam Darnold.
You do.
No, you don't. You can re-sign Phillip Rivers. You can sign somebody for agency, and you still have Jacob Eason. They can literally bring back all of their quarterbacks, Phillip Rivers and Jacoby Brissett, and that's okay.
Jared, I think when evaluating Jacob Eason, it's important to remember that he lost his starting job to Jake Fromm.
And?
That's all.
Well, why does that hold any bearing on what's happening now?
Because Jake Fromm is awful.
Well,
and Jacob Eason couldn't even start over him at Georgia.
I'm not taking Sam Darnold with a second round pick. We can put that second round pick to a lot better use than Sam Darnold.
Clearly not for a quarterback based on what I just said.
Well, you don't need to pick a quarterback with a second round pick. You can go fill any other hole that you need. Go get a big wide receiver. Go fill out your defensive secondary. But you don't need to put Sam Darnold on that. No, not for a second round pick. Washington trades Dwayne Haskins to the Steelers.
Or
the Steelers get quarterback Dwayne Haskins. The Washington football team get cornerback Justin Lane and a 2021 fourth round pick.
No.
I don't know who Justin Lane is. I'm going to do some research.
I mean,
that's right.
I don't know. I mean, if you're the Steelers, right? You know Big Ben's not lasting very long.
They got Duck Hodges, though. Duck Hodges is the future.
Didn't he get put on the practice squad?
I don't know. I was trying to play like one game last year.
You're the Steelers. You may have a decent first-round pick that you can get a quarterback late in the draft. But, yeah, they don't really have an option behind Roethlisberger that's, I don't know, that you can rely on to get back to the playoffs. So, it depends. But
make no mistake about it. If I'm Washington and that's the best trade on the table, I would take it.
I mean, if you're Washington, you take it. If you're the Steelers, it's like, after I hear all these stories about his, I guess, attitude, I guess is the best way to put it, or demeanor, maybe, would you take it? The Steelers has already had enough trouble with personalities, is the best way to put that. So I don't think they want to get back into that situation. The Bengals trade wide receiver John Ross to the Patriots. Patriots get John Ross. The Bengals get a 2021 6th-round pick.
Eesh.
Yes.
Yeah. Is John Ross, is his stock that low right now?
I know they just don't use him, but I didn't think it was a 6th-round pick.
Make no mistake about it, a Hall of Famer, but
get him out of Cincy and try to rebuild, I guess. I don't know how much rebuilding you can do with a 6th-round pick, but
I mean,
Tom Brady with the 6th-round pick.
Listen to this. Last year,
utilizing John Ross.
Last year, he plays 8 games and gets 506 yards, averaging. I mean, what does that average out to? About 80 yards a game.
Something
so
like
they could use him. I don't know why they are right now, but
granted, the offensive line is so bad. Burrow can't use his wide receiver if he's on his back the whole time.
Get one off downfield.
Well, they don't even use AJ Green, so.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not using Green, you're definitely not using Ross.
Yeah. Well, in that case,
it's the Tyler Boyd show, boys.
Here's another trade for a wide receiver. The Texans, oh Lord, they trade Kenny Stills to the Packers for a 2021 6th-round pick.
That's a decent trade. You might get a 5th-round pick out of that, honestly. 5th or 4th. Kenny Stills isn't bad.
Here's another wide receiver trade. The Jaguars trade D.D. Westbrook to the Saints because obviously Drew Brees needs more targets. The Saints, D.D. Westbrook to the Saints. The Jaguars get a 7th-round pick.
Do the Saints really need D.D. Westbrook, though? They feel like at the end of the day, there's probably...
I don't know. If Michael Thomas keeps decking people, they may start needing wide receivers.
Yeah, I guess so.
Let's see. This is a weird trade that he put on here. The Rams trade kicker Graham Gano to the Giants for kicker Samuel Sloman.
Yeah,
a 2021 6th-round pick.
Sloman's been playing really good. Graham Gano's a bum.
He is.
I don't think I've ever seen teams trade kickers.
Oh my gosh, Alex is out of the cell.
Oh yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, it's a chow time, Davis.
That does it for the NFL. I just want to get you guys' opinions on those NFL trade scenarios by Bill Barnwell. Let's go over to MLB postseason. Jack, I'll let you go first. Braves. What happened?
Well, I mean, on paper, what happened is that the Dodgers scored 11 runs in the opening frame there in the top of the first, which is the second time in as many years that the Braves have allowed that to happen in a postseason game.
Heck yeah.
This time it was not Mike Foltynewicz on the bump, though, and it was also not a must-win Game 5. And I think that's the biggest takeaway for the Braves here. It only counts for one game, and I think you gotta take the momentum that you got by scoring last in this game. We saw the momentum that the Dodgers picked up from Game 2 with a comeback that fell short. I just got to think that the Braves are counting their blessings that comeback did fall short. Otherwise, they'd be down 2-1 in this series at the current moment. So you got to count your blessings, realize you're up 2-1, and realize that at no point are you able to let your foot off the gas with this Dodgers team because they can throw up 11 runs in a single frame. it wasn't against a weak pin either. It was against your starter. So, they are poised to strike at any moment, and the Dodgers are obviously pretty motivated, pretty upset, and pretty willing to score at will here. And it's not like the Reds where you can shut them out for 2 games. I guess the Dodgers scored infinitely as many times as the Reds did in 2 games in the span of 1 inning. So we'll see what happens. I think tonight is a huge game because if the Dodgers win tonight, it's hard to not pick them to win the series considering all the momentum they can pick up tonight, making it a best 2 out of 3 here from now on if they win tonight, tying the series 2-2. And the Braves could go up 3-1 tonight, which is a pretty damning indictment. It's pretty easy to lock down a 3-1 series if you're Atlanta. So tonight's game is huge, and it could have an enormous momentum swing. The Braves just gotta put yesterday in its place, which is yesterday. No amount of anything is going to change the outcome, and it doesn't. And then they got to be thankful that it doesn't affect today's game at all. It's a new score sheet. None of those runs carry over, and all you have to do is win the game. It doesn't matter by how many runs, and that's what matters for Atlanta here tonight.
Now, my question becomes, yes, you're right. 11 runs do not carry over into this game. That whatever happened, hopefully it's out of the Braves system. Is it concerning that the Braves used 4 pitchers out of their bullpen and they all got 25-plus pitches?
I don't think so, because you're looking at a situation where everyone is having to go into their pen. I was thinking about this watching the game last night. I mean, you just roll over when you go down 15-3, because that's not a very good look for your team. It probably makes your team feel sluggish. You probably want to compete throughout, and I think in order to do that, you have to be wheeling out an arm that can deal with the Dodgers roster. You're also getting some experience against the Dodgers lineup for some guys that might not get it in a lower pressure situation than maybe winning by 1 bases loaded. So you're getting a few of these guys more exposure to the Dodgers roster. So that's one positive I can take away from using 4 pitchers.
For today, or before we get to that, Davis, Alex, any comments on yesterday's offensive showing by the Dodgers, or what the Braves can do to bounce back here in Game 4? A crucial Game 4, where, let's be honest, like Jack said, whoever wins this game may win the series at that point.
Yeah, I mean, because if the Dodgers win this game, they'll have all the momentum heading into Game 5, which will make it a very, very difficult situation. Honestly, I saw the Braves lost. I was like, dang, that's tough. But I did not know they lost 15-3. Wow. And the Dodgers scored 11 in the first. That's pretty crazy, I'm not going to lie. I mean,
it was a crazy first inning.
Was.
The simple thing is just don't let a team get 11 runs in the first inning. That's the key to victory is just – but, I mean, very much I think that this Game 4 is, as you said, the most important game in the series because whichever team wins this game, either the Braves will be up 3-1 and will only have to win 1 game to win the series, or the Dodgers will have all the momentum. So,
Davis?
I mean, it's obviously not as simple as just don't let them score 15 runs in a game. Because I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just building off of that.
Oh, okay.
Golly, Alex.
Yeah, keep eating your food.
just don't let them score 15 runs. I know there's a lot of moving parts to it, the pitcher, the defense, and I feel like Atlanta after that showing, it's either that I sound like Chris Collinsworth now. It's either that they win or lose. Basically, it's that they step up to the plate and actually play better defense, or that they just don't, and the Dodgers just roll over them. But I feel like after a 15-point game against them, they're going to feel humiliated. They're going to come back, and they're going to try to play their best. I'm rooting for the Braves personally, though.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how you put it, right? I mean, the Rays have never won a World Series. The Dodgers haven't won in, 23, 25 years. The Braves, 26, 27 years, right? Or however many years. They're both 20-plus years, right? Everybody's rooting for these teams. The only team that everybody's rooting against is the Astros. Let's be quite honest. And that's kind of where I feel like I'm at too. Let's talk about those Astros. Keep in mind the Braves game tonight. It is at 8:08 Eastern, 7:08 Central. It looks to be Bryce Wilson on the mound for the Braves, and Clayton Kershaw, who was scratched earlier, will be on the bump for the Dodgers. That is saying if everything goes well on his end with a little bit of back tightening. We'll see probably about I would say noon-ish to about maybe 3 to 4 o'clock whether or not we'll see from Kershaw. For the Rays and Astros, it was the Rays' chance to put it away. And they tried everything in the book they could, but they were not able to put the Astros away. Astros winning 4-3. And they go on to a Game 5. That is today at 5:07 Eastern, 4:07 Central. Astros Rays, what's kind of the big takeaway from that series right now?
I mean, the Astros coming back from down 3-0 to win the series and make the World Series again would be the most 2020 thing ever. So, tempted to lean that way, but in reality, a 3-0 comeback is impossible, so the Rays will win the series.
I mean, here's hoping. That's the hope.
Jack, as the resident Braves fan here, what is your confidence level for this?
I'm going to be honest with you. It was very high after game 2. It was actually very, very high about like inning 5 of game 2. I mean, I thought Braves were going to lose a game this postseason, just due to the offensive explosions they were having and how the pitching was playing. This Dodgers-Braves series, it kind of I'll say a 65-35 in favor of the Braves.
Okay, so if Mike Soroka had not torn his Achilles and was playing right now, how different do you think this Braves team would look? Do you think they'd just be racking up the runs, not letting anybody get any runs on them, or do you think it'd still be kind of the same?
I think they had a just a next man up mentality with the pitching they were dealing with. So I don't see, while you want Soroka on the team and he's probably a more consistent, a couple standard deviations closer to what you want in terms of your starting pitchers, I think that the guys they've brought in to replace him have been serviceable at worst and very effective at best.
All right. I mean, I'm rooting for the Braves too. Honestly, I just want one of these series to be like really, really good. I want one of them to go to Game 7. And if I'm being quite honest, I don't want the Astros anywhere near Game 7. So
that'd be cool.
What, the Astros in Game 7 or the Dodgers Braves in Game 7?
I mean, if the Astros somehow made it to Game 7, it'd be annoying, but it'd also be like, whoa.
I'd physically harm myself if the Astros made it to Game 7.
Garrett!
That was the sly way of saying I would throw myself off a cliff, but I didn't want to say that part.
Wow, you're really... Nobody had any idea what you meant.
What? That could mean a lot of things.
It could.
It could really mean a lot of
I figured
things.
he's just gonna like slap himself in the face, but
I did that before this show, so...
That's ill-advised.
No, it's not. You gotta wake yourself up. But I'm gonna say that the Rays put away the Astros today. Even though the Astros won that game, the Rays still look like toward the bitter end that they were the better team. Even in the bottom of the ninth, or I'm sorry, the top of the ninth. Even in the top of the ninth, the Rays looked like they were trying to storm back. And then obviously they have one of the best players playing right now in baseball, and Randy Arozarena. And I don't want to talk about that because I know where he came from. It hurts me deep down inside where he came from. If you don't know, the Cardinals did trade him. Sucks, but it is what it is. The Cardinals also traded Luke Voigt from the Yankees. Sucks, but it is what it is. So my life is eternal pain right now. But I'm betting on these Rays to flap their way into the World Series, and then the Dodgers Braves. I just want to see a good series, but I do hope the Braves do make it out because I think a Rays Braves World Series could be big for baseball. You have a lot of young players on both teams, and there's a making for a lot of young all-stars on both those teams, and a lot of young legends, I would say. So I think it'll be good. That does it for MLB postseason talk. Anything else in MLB before we go to college football pick'em?
I mean, I'm good here.
All right, college football pick'em. The current college football pick'em standings. I'm in first place at 33-17. Davis is 2 games behind in second place at 31-19. And Jacob and Bay are also tied at 31-19 as well. So we got a three-way tie for second. So everybody's kind of catching up there. Alex, you're in fifth place at 30-20, but you're only 3 games back at first. So it's pretty compact. Jack is at 24-16, but that's mostly because he forgot to pick games. But I do have Jack.
79 goal scorer, Jared. I had to keep it there.
That is true. But I do have Jack making up those games today. So if you look on the Google form for Pick'em this week, there's a second section that all of you don't have to fill out, but Jack does. And he's filling out 10 other games. So
Wait, how do we get there? Did you send it to us?
It's the same one from the old email. He just updates it.
Okay.
yeah, it's always the same one. You just got to go back to it.
I didn't know.
All right, so let's go ahead. Is everybody ready to pick these games?
Yeah.
All right. 2 of them actually happen on a Friday, which I think is a lot of fun. So, the first one up is BYU versus Houston. Houston finally getting into play last week. They're playing again this week against number 14, the Cougars. We'll go in order of pick'em. So I'll go first, and then it'll be Davis and Alex, and then Jack will go last. When it comes to BYU and Houston, I think it's just easy to pick BYU. Houston, I mean, this is only their second game, and they got to play and host a BYU team that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm not going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm just going to say BYU the whole way.
Was it my turn?
Sure.
I'm also taking BYU. Nothing.
This game feels very much like a trap game for Pick'em because, as good as BYU has been, it's still BYU and it's still on the road, not in Provo. But I'm going to still pick BYU, but again, would not be surprised if Houston managed to win.
Jack.
BYU's kind of been destroying everybody they've played, so I'm gonna pick BYU in this one. BYU is kind of my undercover favorite to go undefeated this season.
Really?
I mean, they were destroying everybody. Then last week they only beat UTSA 27-20, where I was like, all right, pause on that one.
Look, everybody has their bad games.
I also thought that, but when I saw that score, I was a bit perturbed, but. I don't know. That feels like if they were going to lose, it was going to be them. So we could see them roll from now on.
That is a good point.
Don't blink now. Yes, that's not a typo on the docket. Number 8.
That's
yes. 8. Yeah, that is. Number 8, Cincinnati taking on Tulsa. The Golden Hurricanes in our mascot showdown bracket. I think the Golden Hurricanes won.
Of course.
What makes a hurricane golden?
It's made of gold.
There's 2 things, and one of them you don't want.
That makes sense, Jack.
Not to mention the fact that they're the Golden Hurricanes in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Well,
I guess that Tornadoes was taken.
Tornadoes is taboo over there right now.
Right, of course.
I'm going to take Cincinnati. I'm going to be honest. I don't think I even watched one down of Cincinnati football. But they're number 8 for a reason, I guess. So, with no source whatsoever, I'll take Cincinnati over Tulsa. Even though I do know that Tulsa did play Oklahoma State close early this season.
Yeah.
But I think Cincinnati's a lot better than Oklahoma State, if we're being quite honest.
Same for me. I think this year, with the way it's shaping up, the upsets, the messed up schedule, this is the best chance for a Group of 5 team to make the playoff, and Cincinnati is the Group of 5's best prospect to do that. So there's a lot of pressure on them, but I think they'll respond. I think they'll get this win.
Davis.
No surprise here. Also took Cincy.
Jack.
I've actually seen, a little bit of playoff conversation around this Bearcats team. So I think they're motivated to do well, and this is an American opponent they're familiar with. So, yeah, you got to take the Cats in this.
The boys from Southern Methodist are number 17, and they're taking on Tulane. I'll take SMU.
Yeah, same for me. Oh, wait. They were supposed to go before me. Oops. But
It
yeah,
doesn't matter. I took SMU too, so nothing
Jack?
crazy.
I'm going to make this interesting and pick Tulane after the way that they played against Houston last week. I believe they got up a couple scores on Houston before Houston combined all the football they missed to come back and beat the Green Wave. So I think the Wave are going to get them this week. Big American upset.
Wow.
Here's a game that may be a little bit harder to guess because Tennessee's played good football throughout the year. But, man, that second half against Georgia was rough. And I know it's Georgia, right? Number 3 team in the country. But they got to go back home and play Kentucky, which I think is a pretty scrappy Kentucky team that went blow for blow with Ole Miss. So they show that their offense can be good. But this is one of those interesting games that, for once again, you know how like last week I said Florida and A&M would be close for no apparent reason? This is also one of those games. This game's going to be close, even though Tennessee probably should run away with it. So I'm going to go a little bit off the cuff, and I'm going to say that the Georgia game kind of demoralized Tennessee, and I'll pick Kentucky on the road.
Wow. Yeah, I don't agree with that one. Kentucky has shown a lot of signs of being a good, decent SEC East team, but I think Tennessee, they cannot afford to lose this game, and I think Jeremy Pruitt's going to look to his team to bounce back after last week, and I think they will. I'm picking Tennessee.
Yeah, as much as I want to pick Kentucky because I would love for the Volunteers to lose, I'm taking Tennessee because I don't feel like they can really lose this game.
This is a game I look forward to every year. I think this year it's going to come down to turnovers, and I think Kentucky will win the turnover battle in this one. I think Garantano might just toss up a couple inopportune interceptions that'll allow the Kentucky defense to take control of this game. I like the Cats in this one on the road.
Okay.
You see, in a game screw Rocky Top. In a game that replaced LSU and Florida on our pick'em, UCF and Memphis square off. Yeah, look, there wasn't many games I could pick, okay?
No, it's not that it's a bad game. It's such a toss-up game for me. Like,
yeah.
Florida, I would have picked Florida by 60, but this... Ugh.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with the guns, and, it's tough because Memphis, they're not as good as I thought they would be this year. But I'll stick with Memphis, just only because they're at home, pretty much.
Picking who?
Memphis.
I'm going.
Make that a second. I'm also taking Memphis.
Ooh, am I gonna make it a third, Alex?
No, you're not. I'm going the other direction. UCF came off a bad loss to Tulsa. That is true, but Tulsa's also not as bad of a team as we thought. I think initially, and not to mention UCF has had 2 weeks to prepare for this. They did not have a game last week, so 2 weeks to prepare for Memphis. I'm going to take UCF, but in a close one.
Yeah,
Jack?
big bounce back game for the Knights here. I think they're motivated in this one in a way that Memphis is not. They want to regain some lost relevance that they kind of squandered by losing to Tulsa last week. So
And probably what's going to be the most interesting game of the weekend.
Yeah.
Ole Miss travels to Fayetteville to take on Arkansas. And this is an interesting one because we know Arkansas is livid about what happened in Jordan-Hare last week. And we know Ole Miss went toe-to-toe with Alabama and put up an absurd amount of points. So who wins in this game between an angry hog and a drunk rebel?
It's a land shark, Jared.
They're still the rebels.
Nah, they're the lane train now officially.
You know, I'm gonna say that
The engineers.
when push comes to when push comes to shove, in a shootout, you always gotta bring more bullets, and I think Ole Miss has more because usually they're rebels. I'm taking Ole Miss on the road.
Hey, they're the #1 rifle team in the country.
They do.
You best believe they can win in a shootout.
You better watch out, Davis.
Ole Miss all the way. Let's go Land Sharks. Hotty toddy.
I'm gonna be bold here, and I'm going the opposite direction.
Alex, you can't be.
You're gonna be stupid.
Yeah, Alex, you're in 5th place. You're just being stupid.
Let me explain. I'm picking Arkansas because
You stupid, bro.
I do believe it'll be a shootout. However, I believe that the gap between Ole Miss's offense and Arkansas's defense is smaller than the gap between Arkansas's offense and Ole Miss's defense, which is without question the worst I've ever seen.
Didn't you just say Alabama was the worst you've seen? Keep your story straight.
So hyperbolic.
No, I said Alabama was the worst coach defense because they have talent and their coordinator is a moron. Ole Miss, top to bottom, just doesn't have talent on defense, and we saw that last week.
They tried, okay?
That's true.
They tried, yeah, but I really like if it's coming down to the fourth quarter, I do not believe Ole Miss will stop Arkansas. I really don't, at all.
I think Arkansas will stop Arkansas. At the end of the day,
it's going to come down to the fourth quarter. Is my thesis here. I think that this game might be close for a minute, but I think Ole Miss is going to run wild with the Wild Hogs in Fayetteville.
Next game up, it's number 11 Texas A&M and Mississippi State. Does Mississippi State score more than 2 points this week? We'll find out. But number 11 A&M is coming off a bit of a high as they took down Florida. And the way Mississippi State's been playing, right? And Mike Leach talking about pretty much what looks to be anarchy over Mississippi State of...
Yeah.
I'm thinking Texas A&M.
Let's
go Aggies.
You got to pick A&M. I mean, come on.
Alex, you have to.
Look at Mississippi State's offense. Costello is a bum, okay? I hate to be the first guy to tell you this.
Certified.
I go bold one time and y'all are acting like crazy.
You know, going bold and going stupid are two different things, Alex.
Oh, shut up. Okay.
Go stupid, go crazy, Alex.
Stupid,
Obviously, I'm picking Texas by a mile. This is Kellen Mond, where he has a field day against bad defenses. Kellen Mond's going to, look like a pro quarterback in 5 seconds.
Did Kellen Mond even look bad last week? I don't even know his stats. Somebody told me his stats.
Like to make fun of him on the daily. Let me go look at. I'll look at his stats right now. Let's see.
I watched pretty good. I watched that game on the ESPNU Skywire. Oh, that's the way to watch a game. I hate the commentators.
Dang. Maybe I'll give it a shot. Kellen Mond, 338 yards, 71% completion percentage, and 3 touchdowns. So yeah, he was good last week, but I'm still gonna make jokes about him because it's Kellen Mond. So
That's fair. Kellen Mond, who I watched play football my freshman year.
Wow.
Number 5, North Carolina travel to take on Florida State. This is where you can tell I started running out of games.
That's a good game.
It's a good game talent-wise.
Is it like, do you think North Carolina's for real? Because some people don't.
Yeah, but even if North Carolina's not for real, they'll still win like 38-14.
I was surprised at how closely FSU hung with the Irish last week, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
Whether that means
I haven't watched that
Florida
game.
State has improved or if it means Notre Dame just sucks, I don't really know.
I will say, having watched most of that game, so my brother's a big Notre Dame fan, Notre Dame was just handing Florida State opportunities with the turnovers and just getting really stagnant at points. And it's just like, okay. Like, it wasn't like Florida State was playing good. Notre Dame just got in their own way on a consistent basis.
And for the most part this season, UNC's offense was trashed up until they met Virginia Tech. And then they were like, we're going to score 56 points.
Yeah, that's true.
How do you go from scoring 26 points because they got the 2-point conversion? How do you go from scoring 26 points against Boston College to scoring 56 against Virginia Tech? Come on.
Well, Jared, it's when Virginia Tech doesn't have any defensive backs because of COVID. I mean,
look, that's not an excuse. LSU was putting damn wide receivers at DBs, and they still won a national championships. I don't want to hear nothing.
no, they what?
Wasn't that LSU doing that?
No.
No, that was LSU when they played UCF. My years were off.
Exclamation point.
Look, it's been like 3 years in 2020. Okay, it's okay to lose track of time.
That's fair. That's fair.
But in this game, as much as I want to pick Florida State, I'll pick UNC because UNC will have their comeuppance soon when they play Miami.
Yeah, same for me. I'm picking UNC. I mean, they're gonna make their run, but then they're Clemson and Miami are gonna drop 60 on them. So,
Davis,
I'm taking the Tar Heels on this one.
Jack,
UNC here. Sorry about it.
all right.
goes nothing.
Number 15 Auburn travels on the road to South Carolina. Auburn is a 3-point favorite. Do you guys want to talk about this game first before we make our picks?
No,
You just want to make our picks.
I just want to make the picks. I don't want to get depressed.
Give us a score, Davis. That's tradition.
It's tradition to give a score. That's true. Look, can we just? I just want to talk 2 minutes about the game. 2 minutes.
Yeah, what's up, Jared? What's your read? What's your take?
Guys, you know my immaculate record when picking Auburn games, right? I'm pretty good at it.
You're okay. I mean, I wouldn't say immaculate because words have definitions.
Okay.
That was good.
I woke up this morning.
Uh-oh.
And my old bones got out of bed, and I was walking down the hallway, and I turned, and I saw the "Do Not Enter Auburn Fans Only" sign that's in the bar room, and I asked myself, "Do I enter?"
Am I allowed to enter?
Guys,
you get it down and just break it.
Guys, I don't know about this game anymore. I really don't. There's something's wrong with this game. It's like yesterday, I had nachos, right? Yesterday I had nachos.
I did too.
A couple days ago when I went shopping, when I came back home, when I put the grocery bag on the floor, right? The glass jar for the salsa broke. So I had to pour all the salsa into just a container, right? So a couple days later, I was eating nachos, and I took a bite, and you know what happened? There was a shard of glass in there. Okay, so that's telling me right now I probably shouldn't pick Auburn. Don't worry.
That's just telling you shouldn't pick Auburn?
Yes.
Of all things, that is what tells you.
Me eating a shard of glass yesterday while eating nachos was telling me not to pick Auburn. By the way, just some breaking news. Le'Veon Bell either plays a sign with the Dolphins, Chiefs, or Bills. Just so you guys know.
If he wants a Super Bowl, he'll go to the Chiefs.
I love how two of those teams are in his own division. Like, he wants to be able to just get 200 yards on the Jets.
I mean, he would be able to. But
Yeah.
Let's see if he can finally make Gase's eyes fall out of his head.
But going back to the game, like Auburn, I hope Bo Nix can throw the ball. I hope Tank. Not hope. I know Tank's gonna carry that rock pretty well. I know that. As far as injuries go, do we have an update on injuries? I mean, obviously KJ Britt's out, but what about Big Cat, Jalen Simpson?
I mean, they're trying to get back. Sean Shivers apparently practiced this week, so.
Sean Shivers is.
Tank took his spot.
He's old news now. It's all about the Tank love.
In reality, Tank didn't take his spot so much as Auburn just doesn't know how to utilize him, but that's an argument for another day.
I will pick South. No, I'm sorry. I'll pick Auburn. You know what? You know what?
No.
Screw it. I'm picking South Carolina. I can't.
Oh my God.
I just can't do it. I'm picking South Carolina. Look, if the shard of glass and me slipping saying South Carolina doesn't tell me I need to pick South Carolina, I don't know what does. Okay. I'm picking
Jared, the thing is,
I don't like it. What?
I'm thinking about it too.
I don't like it. I really don't.
Hold up.
I haven't decided yet.
Hold up. Jared already sealed his fate. Now, Davis, listen closely so you don't have to seal your own fate. Now,
Me and Jared are leading in pick'em.
Yeah, like we're not some bums, bro.
Act like you're the magician here. You're last.
You in 5th place. Know your lane, bro.
Alex is making me less confident. He hasn't even said anything yet.
My goodness. If you let me breathe for a second. Auburn is definitely going to lose a game to a team they shouldn't lose to this year. And it'll be a game on the road, but it will not be this game. They will definitely lose next week against Ole Miss. That'll be tough. But this week, Auburn's going to beat South Carolina.
Why not? You don't have to give me a reason besides just saying stuff.
Why not just because...
All you pretty much convinced us that Auburn's going to lose to Ole Miss. You did not even say the reason why they're going to beat South Carolina.
Then me and Jared just pick South Carolina and Ole Miss.
Okay,
It'll be
I think they're going to beat South Carolina because South Carolina's defense, despite the fact that Will Muschamp is there, is still not great. And the fact is, after watching their offense against Florida, I really do not believe they can score with Auburn.
Is South Carolina's defense worse than Arkansas's?
Maybe.
The fact that you're even thinking about it. Yeah,
you're not convincing me, Alex. You're the worst freaking convincer.
You should not pick South Carolina just because this is not the game that Auburn loses.
I'm not picking South Carolina because they're good. I'm picking South Carolina because Auburn's buns, bro. That's what it is. Auburn's not going to lose because South Carolina.
Auburn's just destined next week to let Ole Miss score 70 while they score like 16.
Auburn's not going to lose because of South Carolina. Auburn's going to lose because of Auburn. Don't get it twisted.
So what's your score, Alex?
I didn't give a score.
I'll say 28-17.
That's decent, yeah. I'll say South Carolina. Look, if Arkansas could put up 28, South Carolina could put up a little bit more. I'll go South Carolina 31, Auburn 27.
Jack? We go last because I haven't decided.
Okay, look, I'm scared, okay? It's a noon kick. It's a 10, it's a noon body clock kick. I guess that's fine. Auburn knows how to handle that. But this is a team that who'd they play last week? Vanderbilt hung 41 on Vandy, and so did LSU. So I don't really know what the barometer is there. I don't think South Carolina's as bad as LSU, even though they beat Vanderbilt by the same score. But I think that the athlete comparison disparity is obviously there for Auburn and South Carolina. I'm going to have to pick Auburn in this one because how could I pick against Auburn? But I do think it's going to be not fun to watch at all, a 4-quarter game to be sure. I think the score is going to be, hold on, I had it, 33-18.
Davis.
I'm stuck. I might go just flip a coin.
Dude,
go find a coin then. Go find a coin.
I love Auburn, but I'm not sure if I can really trust them.
I mean, look, I love Auburn too, but I picked Georgia last week, or I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago.
Okay, I'm gonna go Auburn, but next week there's a good chance, depending on how we play. Well, I mean, I guess that's all of us. There's a good chance I'm gonna pick Ole Miss next week. I'm gonna take Auburn, 30-24.
Look at these. I got 2 degrees from this school. I got 2 of them.
What are those?
They're degrees, Alex. He just said that.
No, I didn't hear him clearly. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, they're the
You're talking about the temperature.
Look at this.
It's cold there.
I got 2 degrees. I'll pull out my degree right now. Look at this. Oop, I dropped the thingy. Look at this.
When Jared's rant is over.
Is that my master's in communications? I can't tell. It is. I got a master's in communication from Auburn. They still gonna lose. I don't care. No allegiance anymore.
So I'm hearing. Well, my biggest takeaway from that is that you have 2 degrees, but you're still stupid. That's what I'm hearing.
Alex,
you're 5th and pick 'em. You were 5th and pick 'em. Bo Niz.
I got screwed the last couple weeks. Everybody.
Bo Niz.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't forget about that. Go read your Weagle FM article about Bo Niz.
Hey,
I got receipts. I got receipts. I screen capped it.
It no longer says that, but it did it one time. That's all that matters.
Maybe it did. Maybe.
All right. And now the extra point game of the week. Davis, when is class?
9:30 or 9:45 technically, so I have time.
Good. Extra point game of the week. Georgia, Alabama. Uh, we may have some discussion about this one as well, but look, I don't care whether Nick Saban is on the sideline, at home on Zoom, in the Coca-Cola Museum. I don't care where he's at. The Twinkie Factory.
Aflac commercial.
Aflac commercial. Give me another
Regions
place.
commercial.
Regions commercial.
Oh.
He could be in an SEC short at the same time. I don't care.
He could be on the set of The Blind Side on his LSU tie.
He could be coaching LSU at the same time. Alabama will still win this ball
drafting
game.
Dante Culpepper. It don't
He
matter.
could. It don't matter where he's at. Alabama will win this ball game.
I 100% agree.
Georgia.
Well, there's a reason why you're fifth.
I have a question, Alex. If
What?
Georgia wins, will Kirby Smart become the first coordinator to beat Nick Saban?
Will there always be an asterisk next
Yes,
to that?
that's what I'm asking. Do you think anybody will let that slide?
I do not believe CBS will, because they know that Gary loves to laugh about it every time he does one of the games. Because I mean, that stat comes up every quarter for at least 5 minutes. Because Gary just is like, "Hey guys, listen to this stat you've never heard before." So I do not think. I think they'll keep it like that because technically there.
That's the Bo Nix is an Auburn fan of Bama stats, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bo Nix's dad actually used to play for Auburn.
Did you know? Here's a picture of him with toilet paper.
However, I do think it's convenient that this would be the first time the coordinator curse is broken is when Saban is not there.
Yeah,
That would be poetic.
But I take it you're still picking Bama, Jack.
Absolutely, Bama by a million.
Wow, really?
The views and opinions expressed by that do not reflect the pick of this host, Bama by 13.
I mean, Bama by double digits. Easy.
We'll
Is
see.
it digit 11?
I said double digits. So that could be between 99 and 10.
Honestly, now I'm starting to second guess my pick.
Nope, you got to stick with it.
No, you're
Alex.
Alex. Jack has not even made up his picks. He's like behind 10 picks, and he might overtake you for 5th place because you're picking so bad.
I already hit submit, Jared. I'm not going to forget.
Oh, did you do your other 10 picks?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Oh my gosh, these other 10 games are so bad.
UTSA's on there.
Oh my god.
Oh, you
Florida
think-
International in Charlotte.
If you think that's bad, just wait till he has to make up his NFL picks. I already told him what he has to do.
Wow, man. This is wow.
All right, let's head over to our NFL pick'em now.
Let's go.
And-
This one
and
I'm
if-
actually half decent at. So.
In NFL pick'em standings, Alex, your lead has shrunk again.
I was only in the lead by 3 games.
Yeah, now it's 1.
But who's in
Okay.
second?
So Alex is in first at 53 and 22. Davis is in second at 52 and 23. Bay and I are tied at third at 51 and 24. Jacob is at 44 and 31. Jack is at 40 and 21, having to make up 14 games. And the way Jack's going to make those games up is when Japanese X League American football starts, he'll be picking Japanese American football games.
Oh
That-
no.
That's how he's going to do it. There's not any extra NFL games to pick, so we have to go to a different
I got this
league.
sticky note with Japanese on it. I got an unfair advantage.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there you go. There's a team over there named Kobe, I believe, so pick Kobe.
Like the beef?
I meant like Kobe, like Kobe.
The beef?
Yeah. All right, it's time for NFL Pick'em. First game up, and you know they're the first because they're all my ESPN favorites. The Bengals take on the Indianapolis
I
Colts.
love the Bengals, Jared.
I hate the Bengals.
Oh, why
You don't
not
like
your
Joe
favorite?
Burrow?
It's just like Jarrett Stidham and Cam Newton. I loved them until they went to New England. Now they can get the Glock.
It's on site.
It's on
You
site.
say get the Glock?
Yeah,
Alex, what else would he say?
yeah.
You
The-
can
the-
get
I
the
just
9
like
if
a
you're the
double
one. Well,
take.
come on.
They can
Calm
get the
down,
piece.
Yeah. Get the pole. It's
They
another
can get
one.
these hands.
Yeah.
These hands ready to eat for everybody, Alex, especially you. I'm picking the Colts.
I don't think they're ready for this, Jared. I don't think they're ready.
The Colts will win. The Bengals are absolutely trash. The Colts have one of the best defensive fronts in the league. Joe Burrow may actually have nightmares after this game. He won't be afraid of grass. He'll be afraid of turf.
Let's go Colts. I'll second that one.
Alex?
I mean, Colts are easy to pick here,
Jack?
After how truly terribly the Bengals played last week, I can't. I'm sorry. Go Colts.
It's actually kind of funny. Have you guys ever heard me, be demeaning against Joe Burrow? That's a first. I've always been high on him, but this week I'm just he's dead to me.
I mean, he's a great kid. He just...
On a bad team.
Just gets in a car crash in every play.
Yeah, I mean, they have the third worst offensive line in the league, so it's bad.
Up next, Texans, Titans. The Texans, they bounced back. They finally got that win after firing Bill O'Brien. They got 2 wins pretty much that same week. And they fired him, and then they got a big win over the Jaguars. But the Titans, man, Derrick Henry may stiff-arm somebody into the nether realm again. I'll go Titans again.
Yeah, I'll say this. I am picking the Titans to win this one. However, I do not want them to win. Because, last night, wait, what? No, it wasn't last night. It was a few nights ago. They get that huge win over Buffalo, and then Taylor Lewan, arguably my least favorite player in the league possibly, goes out there and starts talking about how nobody wants them to succeed because they had to go through so much adversity. The adversity was, not listening to any of the rules and nearly shutting down the seasons. So,
wait, why is he your least favorite player? Is it because of that or something else?
I mean, he just I don't know what it is. Maybe least favorite's a bit hyperbolic on my end, I'll admit, but that he basically contributes nothing and is like, all right, y'all, I'm the star of the team, and decides to talk trash constantly. I'm just like, all right, dude, you're a blocker for Derrick Henry.
He's like the guy that comes off the bench for 10 minutes in a basketball game but still talks trash.
More or less, yeah.
Okay.
So
isn't that you, Jared?
Yes.
I mean,
100%. I'm the Lou Williams, okay? I get minutes.
I'm still picking the Titans, though, but, man, it'd be fun if the Texans beat them by 40. So,
Davis.
I'm also taking the Titans. Derrick Henry's going to break out in fantasy for me. I can feel it.
He's probably not then. Jack?
Hey.
A lot of people forget about how good the Titans were down the stretch last year, how they kind of upset a couple teams on their way to an AFC championship. And I don't know, maybe I was reading into it too much, but maybe we're a couple key plays away from being in a Super Bowl last season. So I think they're picking up right where they left off on that front. I will say, this is a side note. If Bill O'Brien hadn't run that fake punt in the Chiefs game in the divisional round, the Titans would have been in the Super Bowl last season.
Whoa.
But that's neither here nor there.
Wow.
What would have happened?
No, I mean, you're right. No, you're right. But what
would have happened? 2020.
The Texans would have been in the AFC Championship against the Titans, so they're going to reenact that game. What would have happened? And the Titans are going to win by 18 points. I'm back from the future. I'll tell you that.
Don't you mean you're back from the past?
No, I saw it in the future, and I'm here telling you about it.
Oh.
18 points.
Falcons Vikings in a game that may not even happen this week. The Falcons closed down their facility. The game, I mean, they're probably going to try to play it, but you never know these days.
They're going to cancel it out of general concern for human life because no one should have to witness this.
Yeah, nobody should witness the Vikings by about 40 points. Because here's the thing. The Falcons, I always gave them a chance because their offense was actually good. They at least put up points. I don't know if the Panthers' defense got good or the Falcons just fell on their face, but they did not look good against the Panthers.
They fell on their face.
Hey!
They did.
It's true.
Their defense also held the Panthers in check pretty well, which the Falcons have not done all year.
Yeah, because they knew what they were playing for. They were like, if we can just lose, but look good doing it.
You can get that bald guy out of here.
We can get that bald guy out of here and still look like a good free agent spot.
But I mean, I'm serious. Like that last week was the first week the Falcons have held a team below 30. So like, they figured something out. I don't know what it was, but
the Braves are 0-1 this postseason since I've seen a picture of Dan Quinn in a Braves hat. So I'm convinced that man is cancerous.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I'm picking the Vikings just because I don't think the Falcons are good anyway, and having a shorter week just puts them at a bigger disadvantage than they already are.
Everybody going Vikings?
Yes.
Go vibes.
All right. Cam Newton looks to suit back up for the Patriots as they get ready to take on the Broncos and whoever they may have at quarterback. Yeah, I don't even know who their quarterback is. To be quite honest.
Brett Ripon.
That one?
Is it still Ripon?
Yes.
Patriots. Ripon. He's about to get something ripped.
Tomato.
Yeah, he's about to get something ripped open. Don't worry about that part.
You're stupid.
Yeah, about
Why'd you say it? You're stupid.
We'll see who's stupid when you're out of first place in NFL Pick'em standings.
Hey,
I'll be in first. That's right.
Oh, Davis, no, absolutely not.
Who's one game behind you?
Davis,
That's right.
You're just gonna choke this week, you know it. Also, Jared,
You're picking the same games as me.
And who's one game behind you, Davis?
Shut up. Yeah, hey. Bay is. Yeah, Bay.
Hey, who's in fifth place behind me in the MLB playoff gauntlet, boys?
So me?
Yeah, you're both somehow behind me.
Me and Davis, who are behind by 1 point.
Davis is behind by one game. What's the difference?
MLB playoff gauntlet's different. It's a different beast.
Shut up.
It's a different animal.
Different.
It's like War Game. It's just built different. It's just built different.
All right, so
are we all taking Patriots?
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
okay.
In that case, then.
Here we go. Alex, time to shut up. Washington Giants.
Yeah. Make no mistake about it. Should Washington win this game? Maybe. Will they win this game? No.
Is Kyle Allen playing?
Yes.
Yes. Allentown.
He looked decent in his first couple drives against the Rams. I'll say that.
He bounced off the ground, Alex. The man almost died.
Alex, you have good Kyle Allen for 4 games, so you better live it up while you can.
Well, we got games against division rivals the next 3 weeks, so
his magic disappears after that.
We got Giants, Cowboys, and then Giants again.
This one's tough. I'm not gonna lie.
What?
This one's tough. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, because on top of everything else, the Giants have an awful offensive line, and Washington has a rather talented defensive front. So that's
you know what? This game will probably end in a draw on any other day, but Washington has something the Giants don't.
Kyle Allen.
It is Kyle Allen. I'm picking that Washington football team.
Okay, you know what? If you're both picking my team, then I'm going to pick him as well, just because
he doesn't want to he doesn't want to lose his lead.
What?
Yeah, really, Alex supposed to be picking first because he's first place, but I'm gonna let that go. Jack.
Last year I said if Kyle Allen beat the Packers, I'd buy his jersey, and Panthers came up about 2 yards short of that happening. So that saved me a little bit of money. But I think if Kyle Allen wins the next 3 games, for the football team to pretty much get an unsurmountable division lead in the NFC East. For the football team, I think Alex Houston should buy Kyle Allen's jersey because not only will that cement his legacy as the greatest football team quarterback of all time, it also might kill him.
That's also true.
Jack, I was gonna say if I get his jersey,
no, don't you go down that road again.
I'm just saying.
For a second, I was like, "Wait, what?" And then I
don't know, man. Jack, I mean, I don't know why you would wish that upon Kyle Allen, but
I'm just saying, he could die a hero.
Oh my God!
As the first division championship for the Washington football team. Yeah, hit it. Let's go. Burgundy and gold.
Burgundy and gold.
Helmets.
Did everybody pick Washington?
Yes. It's the Giants, Alex.
It's not like I'm happy about it.
Yeah, you do realize
I take great joy from looking at this matchup.
Alex, it's not Washington versus the
What?
Packers. It's the Giants, okay? Don't
You-
get too
yeah.
all high and mighty over there about your
No,
team.
no, I'm just like I get that. It's just that, like the amount of times I've seen them lose to the Giants when they should absolutely win has got me all out of whack.
Oh, well, starting, I wouldn't have picked that bum.
Oh
so.
my!
Did I hear Dwayne Haskins is a bum?
Yes.
Yeah.
If he plays good on another team, I'll admit he's not a bum. Then I'll just say
they-
the football team's a bum.
They sent him home for an illness. We all know what that means.
Allen's just not good again, and it shows.
Kyle Allen's just built different.
He's no longer being sent home by the team. Ron Rivera said the only reason he's at home is because it's his choice.
All right, that's a big yikes.
Yeah, he hates it there.
All right, Ravens, Eagles. I think we all know where we're going with this.
Ravens by 40.
Ravens.
Yeah, just have another 10-point outing for Lamar Jackson for you, but still the Ravens.
I'm still mad about that.
That's okay.
Jack.
Hey, yeah, I got Eagles are bad. That's my take on this.
Whoa, it's crazy. It's a crazy
That's crazy,
take.
bro.
Ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen.
here's a good game in Pittsburgh. The Browns travel to take on the Steelers.
Let's go Browns. Wait,
yeah.
actually, no, I picked the Steelers, actually.
You fool.
No.
Yeah. I'm gonna. This is a tough one, man, because the Steelers are undefeated, but their is awful.
He's like bad.
It's
Pretty bad.
I think it's 3-15. Wait, no, it's 3-15-1. That's what it is.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah, it's bad.
Is that a real stat?
Are
Yeah.
they 4-0?
They're 4-0, and the teams they've beaten are 3-15-1.
3-15-1?
Yep.
That is.
The Eagles, Texans, Broncos, and Giants. Two
That's a
winless teams.
verifiable tough scene in the Steel City.
What am I
You
looking
see
at?
that? You see it?
What?
I'm trying
No,
I was gonna show you me changing my pick.
I'm about to say. Well, actually, wait, hold up. Is it 3-15-1 or is it?
So you just
No, wait. I saw that stat, but now I'm looking at the numbers and it may be.
Oh God, he can't read.
But
All
oh
right.
God, he's
Whatever.
stupid.
shut up. I'm picking the Browns.
I don't want to be that guy, but I think the Browns might be for real.
I already picked the
Oh,
Browns.
whoa, you sound like
Put it in
Colin
the- put it in the
Cowherd.
vault.
I for the past 4 years, people have been saying that, and it hasn't been true, verifiably. Season, especially with our expanded format, I don't think they'll win the division. I'm not a crazy person. You don't have to lock me
Yeah.
up or anything, but I think yeah. Go
Are
ahead.
you
Go
okay?
ahead and get it. I'm sorry. Something caught my eye that just ruined my morning.
What happened?
Probably you. He probably saw you in a Zoom call.
It doesn't matter. So yeah, I like the Browns and the Steelers. The Steelers always find a way to beat the Browns. It's like a little brother, big brother situation. And I don't know when the last time the Browns beat the Steelers in any kind of significant capacity, but I think this could be the first time in quite some time. As I don't know, we could have a changing in the guard here in this game.
I'm going Browns as well. Let's go a little bit rapid fire just so I can get Davis out of here on time. Bears, Panthers. Teddy Two Gloves.
Um,
Well, I'll go ahead and tell you that three of us are going Panthers. So, Alex,
Panthers are
it's really up to
unstoppable,
you.
Okay, I picked against them the past 2 weeks when I didn't even believe in them that hard, and they still won. So 14-2.
that's true. It is
counting.
Nick Foles against any other team that isn't Tom Brady led. So yeah, I'm picking the Panthers.
All right. Lions, Jaguars.
Jags.
I'm gonna let y'all two pick.
Lions.
Damn, I was gonna be the bombshell there. I'm picking the Lions too.
I mean, after the Jags lost to the Texans, I mean, I'll go Lions as well. Here's the easy one. Jets, Dolphins.
Dolphins freaking wrecked the 49ers.
How much, Davis? How many points did the Dolphins score?
They're gonna score 30 on them. 30 more than the Jets score. That is
They're gonna score 30 more than what they did on the 49ers. How about
That's-
70 points.
that? Yeah, you heard me.
What?
I say Dolphins win and they score 38 points.
Yeah.
Ends up.
Fitzpatrick those 2 interceptions though, but it doesn't matter.
Here's a good game. Packers, Buccaneers. I'm going Aaron Rodgers in the
Incorrect.
belt.
Packers. Not a good game.
Wait, what did you say?
He's saying it's not a good game.
Oh, I think it's incorrect on the Packers winning. Oh, like, excuse me?
It is going to be the Packers.
Davis, Alex?
Yeah, I'm picking the Pack.
Go Pack, go.
They're going to have to wheel Tom Brady back to the old folks' home after this one, fellas.
Rams, 49ers.
Let's go Rams. After the 49ers got humiliated by the Dolphins.
Tough game to pick.
Is it?
Because the Niners shouldn't have been bad last week.
Well, yeah, the Niners, if they were at full strength, would absolutely obliterate the Rams, but they aren't.
So, yeah, they aren't. So, Rams, right?
But we don't know how. We don't know. Like, the 49ers are such a wild card because they come back every week, and we don't know what percentage of their power they're going to activate.
Okay, can I pause for something? Because I'm looking at their schedule. This is something I didn't really think about. You know,
well, we got 2 minutes before Davis has to leave.
Oh. We're going to the Niners last week and basically all the time and last year, but they lost the Cardinals at the beginning of the year, and we were like, oh, man, the Cardinals are for real. The Cardinals are bad, and the 49ers' only 2 wins are the Jets and the Giants. So, are they bad?
Yes, Davis, the guy in the back.
Alex, just shut up. I have to go to class in a minute. We got 2 more
Alex,
games.
Shut up. All right, Chiefs, Bills.
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Bills got exposed.
We're all going Chiefs? All right, in the final game of the week. Oh, you know who it's all about.
Dallas Cowboys go.
It is all about those Dallas Cowboys as they take on the Arizona Cardinals. It's without Dak, but they got the Red Rocket, the one, the only, Andy Dalton.
Let's go Cardinals.
Really?
Yes.
Big Cardinals win in Jerry World under the lights. No sun to get in their way, okay? This is a night game.
You know what? Instead of Aikman touchdown, it's Dalton touchdown. Give me the Cowboys.
No, it's going to be I dwell on the past because the Cowboys are going to have to look at their trophy case after this one and realize it's never happening again.
Never. Alex?
I'm picking the Cowboys.
Wow.
Pick the boys.
All right, boys. I'll see you.
All right, that does it for the show today. Thank you, Davis, for joining us on the show. Go do your calisthenics. Thank you, Alex and Jack, as well. That has been Extra Point. Thank you for watching and listening to Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 FM and WEGLFM.com.